What if I told you one of football's biggest new superstars was once just a kid from a tough neighborhood with the numbers 304 written into his story?
And what if I told you that same boy was photographed as a baby with Lionel Messi, then grew up to become Barcelona's number 10 before even turning 19?
Because Lamine Yamal is not just a wonder kid. He is already a symbol of hope, talent, pressure, and possibility. So today, we are telling the full Lamine Yamal story from Rocafonda to Barcelona to Spain to the biggest stage of all. When people talk about Lamine Yamal now, they usually start with the obvious things. The age, the dribbling, the confidence, the left foot, the fearlessness, and of course, the records.
But that is only one part of the story. Because what makes Lamine Yamal so fascinating is not just that he is young and brilliant. It is that his rise already feels bigger than football. He is the kid from Rocafonda, the boy connected to the number 304, the teenager who broke records for Barcelona and Spain, the player who won a major international trophy while still basically a child, and now the teenager trusted with Barcelona's number 10.
So in this video, we are going through 5 parts. First, who Lamine Yamal is and where he comes from. Second, how he rose through Barcelona so quickly. Third, the records and moments that made the world notice him. Fourth, why fans are so emotionally invested in his story. And fifth, what comes next. Lamine Yamal was born on July 13, 2007, and by the time most teenagers are still figuring themselves out, he had already become one of the biggest stories in world football. Barcelona's official profile says he joined the club at a very young age and made his first team debut in April 2023 at just 15 years old, becoming Barca's youngest ever senior player.
But before Barcelona, before Spain, before the global spotlight, there was Rocafonda. Reuters reported from Rocafonda in July 2024 that Yamal grew up in that working-class neighborhood in Mataró, and that his famous 304 goal celebration is a reference to the local postcode 08304. Reuters also reported that his father is Moroccan, his mother is from Equatorial Guinea, and that the family had financial struggles while he was growing up.
And that is one of the reasons fans connect with him so strongly. Because this is not just a football prodigy from some perfect academy bubble. This is a kid whose story carries place, identity, family, and struggle.
Exactly. The 304 celebration is not random branding. It is memory. It is loyalty. It is him telling the world where he comes from. And when a player does that, when he keeps his neighborhood in the story, even after becoming famous, people notice.
That is why Yamal feels different already. He is not just marketed as a star. He feels rooted.
So how did Lamine Yamal get here so quickly? Barcelona's official profile says he arrived at Barca at the age of 7 from local side CF La Torreta, raced through the youth levels, trained with the first team under Xavi, and made his senior debut against Real Betis in April 2023, at 15 years, 9 months, and 16 days.
That alone is ridiculous. Because at 15, most elite talents are still being protected. Yamal was already breaking into one of the biggest clubs in the world.
And the scary part is that he never looked overwhelmed. That is maybe the thing people forget. He was not only young, he also looked comfortable. Comfortable receiving the ball. Comfortable taking defenders on. Comfortable making decisions under pressure.
And that is rare. A lot of young players have talent. Not many have that kind of composure.
Then the next stage came fast. By 2025, Reuters reported that Barcelona had extended his contract until 2031 after a season in which he helped the club win La Liga and the Copa del Rey, while contributing 18 goals and 25 assists in 55 matches. Barca then officially handed him the number 10 shirt in July 2025.
And that is a huge symbolic moment, because Barcelona's number 10 is not just a shirt number. It is pressure. It is history. It is expectation. Messi wore it. Ronaldinho wore it. Maradona wore it. And now it is on Lamine Yamal.
Welcome to Football Superstar Stories, where we tell the rise, glory, and legacy of football's biggest stars. Our goal is to bring you inspiring football journeys, unforgettable moments, and the stories behind the legends. If you love football, please support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing.
Now let's talk about the records. because this is where the story stops feeling like hype and starts feeling like history. UEFA's records page says Yamal became the youngest player to appear at a UEFA Euro at 16 years, 338 days, the youngest scorer in European Championship history, and the youngest player to win a major international tournament when Spain beat England in the Euro 2024 final.
And then there is that France game. Reuters reported that against France in the Euro 2024 semi-final, Yamal scored an incredible left-footed goal from distance and became the youngest scorer in a Euro or World Cup, breaking a record previously held by Pelé.
That goal was one of those moments, the kind where the whole world stops and says, wait, how old is this kid again?
And it did not stop there. UEFA's April 2026 records page says Yamal is Barcelona's youngest ever first-team player, the youngest starter in Champions League history, the youngest player to score and assist in a Champions League game, the youngest scorer in a Champions League semi-final, and the youngest player to reach 30 Champions League appearances.
That is not normal development. That is generational stuff.
And when you put all of that together, you understand why fans are already emotionally invested. Not because people enjoy pressure on teenagers, but because it genuinely feels like they are watching the beginning of something enormous.
Now, this is important. Because if Yamal was only records, he would still be impressive, but maybe not as loved. What makes fans really warm to him is the emotional side of the story.
One example is the famous baby photo with Messi. In 2024, photos resurfaced showing Lionel Messi holding baby Lamine Yamal during a charity calendar shoot back in 2007. The story went viral worldwide and was reported by outlets including AP via The Guardian, Sky News, and ESPN. Reuters also referenced the family's reaction, with Yamal's mother joking, "What if it was the other way around?"
And let's be honest, that is pure football mythology. The baby once held by Messi grows up to wear Barcelona's number 10. That is the sort of story fans never forget.
Another thing fans love is that Yamal does not seem frightened by the size of the moment. When Barcelona gave him the number 10 shirt, the club said responsibility does not faze him. In April 2026, Reuters also quoted him talking confidently about Barcelona trying to come back in Europe, saying a comeback was not impossible.
That mentality matters. Because with stars this young, the question is never just, are they talented? It is, can they carry the pressure?
And so far, Lamine Yamal looks like someone who actually enjoys it.
So what comes next? That is the biggest question. Because now the story changes. He's no longer just the promising kid. He is no longer just the Wonderkid. He is no longer just the future. He is already part of the present.
Barcelona have tied him down until 2031. Reuters said he was already a leading Ballon d'Or contender after his huge 2024 over 25 season, and in April 2026, Reuters described him as a player already comfortable with pressure after finishing second in the 2025 Ballon d'Or.
That means the conversation is now different. It is not. Can he become a star? It is. How big can this become?
Can he become the face of Barcelona's next great era? Can he become the defining player of post-Messi Barca? Can he become the superstar Spain build around for the next decade?
And maybe the reason this story is so powerful right now is because it still feels like the beginning. That is what makes it exciting. We are not looking back at a finished legend. We are watching the first chapters happen live. So what are we really looking at when we look at Lamine Yamal? We are looking at a boy from Rocafonda carrying the identity of 304 onto the biggest stages in football.
We are looking at Barcelona's youngest ever first-team player becoming the club's number 10 before the age of 19.
We are looking at a teenager who broke tournament records, won the European Championship, and made the whole world pay attention.
And maybe most importantly, we are looking at a player who already feels like more than just talent. He feels like a symbol.
Of possibility, of pressure, of hope, of the next era.
And that is why fans cannot stop watching Lamine Yamal. Because the story is already incredible.
And it feels like it is only just beginning.
So what do you think, how far can Lamine Yamal go?
Let us know in the comments below.
And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Football Superstar Stories.
And if you know any football fans who would enjoy this story, share it with your friends and family too.
Thank you for watching until the very end. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share Football Superstar Stories with your friends and family. Your support helps us tell more football stories.